What's going on, family? Sir Ashley here. Sorry, had some technical difficulties. I haven't done this in a while. Thank you, everyone, for watching these videos and rocking with me. I appreciate you. It has been a while. For those of you who don't know me, I am Sir Ashley. I am a real estate advisor. I'm a licensed real estate agent, but I'm also an investor. Um, right here in the Carolinas, but I talk about real estate on a national level. And today I want to talk about the rising interest rates and if you should buy a resale home, look at the pros and cons to that, or if you should buy a new construction home and the pros and cons to that. So let's get into it. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the chat. I appreciate it. Who we got here? I will get to some of the questions and comments later on, but I first want to touch on these about 10 points real quick. Hey, what's going on? Yes, you're young, want to be a realtor. When I'm older, how do you do it? How do you do it? Well, you just serve others. Honestly, you learn your craft, you hone in on your skills and learn where you're deficient, know where you're good, and highlight your good skills while improving the ones you're deficient at. But main thing is just serving others and being a resource to others. That's my take on being a realtor and anybody in the service profession. Now, let's get into the advantages of new construction. Now, I don't really have to tell you the advantages of new construction. You know what those are. It's a brand new home. You don't get much better than that. Brand new. Nobody's lived in it. You don't have to worry about anybody's germs and whatnot, wondering what they did in the home. New construction also comes with warranties. Typically, you get a 1, 2, and a 10-year warranty. Now, 1-year warranty on cosmetic stuff, nail pops, most builders will come around and fix those for you if you reach out to them. And then you have a 2-year warranty on some mechanical things, HVAC stuff. And then you have a 10-year warranty on the structure itself, the foundation. So that's the security you get when you get a brand new construction home. And that is a huge advantage of that. Then also you get to choose your floor plan when you buy new construction. You know what the floor plan is going to be, and you get to pick which one you want. That's a bonus, because typically with resale homes, you don't know exactly what's going to be available and when and how that floor plan is going to lay out or if it's going to work for you. But new construction, that is a pro. You know what the floor plan is, and you get all the little things that I like. I like technology stuff. You get the newer appliances, you get the Nest system, you get the security stuff already included in your brand new construction. Another positive is a positive and negative, and I'll get into it a little later. But a positive is you get financing through the builder, so it can be easier to qualify for a mortgage. We'll get to that in a second. I want to touch on that specifically and how you need to really be on the lookout and be cautious and aware of the financing when it comes to buying a home right now with this environment we're in with rising interest rates. Now, also with new construction benefits is you have newer practices when it comes to building a home. You have better efficiency, newer windows. It might be double paned. You might have the UV coating on it to where, I don't know if you've been in some older homes where you've seen the furniture get stained or look stained. That's just because the sun has been beating on that same couch year over year. With new construction, the windows, they have a UV tint, almost like a greenish tint, to where you don't have to worry about that. And you typically have better insulation and when you get a new construction home. And I don't know if you all like it. It could be a pro. If you do like the modern open feel, new construction, most homes provide that nowadays. Yes, please, if you don't mind, when you come in, hit that like button, leave a comment. All interactions, engagement is greatly appreciated. It helps one YouTube to know that people are interested in this content, and it just promotes this video and my materials to a greater audience and allows me to help and service more people. Uh, you get new paint. Granted, builder's paint, I say that's a pro new paint, but granted, builder's paint isn't the best paint. But it looks nice for the time being, especially if you don't have kids. If you have kids, the builder paint, once they touch the walls, you have fingerprints all over it. Now let's talk about the advantages of a resale home, and then we'll talk about interest rates and how you should position yourself in mid 2022. Now, the advantages of a resale home is you have a established neighborhood typically. Older homes have more character with mature trees and landscaping. I've had clients recently, two different couples come to me and showed them around the Charlotte area for new construction. And what they wanted was the best of both worlds. They wanted new construction, but they wanted a mature neighborhood. You don't typically get both of those. Hey, what's going on, Matt? Thank you for supporting, for watching. I appreciate you, Matt. Thank you. But typically, you don't get that. Most times when you're buying new construction homes, you don't get a established, mature neighborhood. Now, with established, mature neighborhoods, you know typically what your neighbors are going to be like or what the general feel for the community is like. With new construction, it's a crapshoot. You don't know who was going to be your neighbor, how the neighborhood is actually going to pan out, how restrictive and how annoying the HOA is going to be. Those are all unknowns when you're buying new construction. But when you buy a resale home, you can ask the neighbors, like, hey, what's going on here? How is that working? And be in the know. Also, with resale homes, you have, especially right now, and I'll get into a little story about it right after this point, you have more opportunities to negotiate on the price when it comes to new construction. I mean, than you do with new construction. New construction, you really don't have much negotiation. You can sometimes, but you don't have much negotiating when it comes to new construction. With a resale home, you can negotiate. Even in this market right now, because of the rising interest rates, you have sellers that are putting their homes on the market, and they're just doing so because they fear they missed out on the mad rush. So when their home sits on the market, it sounds ridiculous, but when it sits on the market for 5-7 days without those offers, they start panicking. And that's when you, the buyer, can slide right in and present them with an offer and start negotiating. Recently, this month, actually it was last month, late last month, I had a client, we put in an offer on a property in one of the bigger neighborhoods here in the Charlotte area. And we ended up getting the property under contract with the seller paying about 3% in closing costs to my buyer. Now, just 6 months ago or even 2 months ago, that was unheard of. You would have been like, no, that's not happening. No. In this crazy market, it is a seller's market. The seller's not going to agree to pay your buyer's closing costs. Well, one, you don't know what you don't know. So it's better to just ask. Worst thing they can do is say no, right? So you have room to negotiate in this present market with rising interest rates and sellers having FOMO, feeling that they missed the market. You have room to negotiate and get better terms than you would have or than you do with new construction. With new construction, the builder sets the price, and not only are setting the price, every 2 to 3 sales, at least in my area, they raise the price anywhere from 2,000 to 5, 10,000. Some builders, excuse me. So, real quick, SS, what are interest rates right now? I will get to that question in a second. Let me just wrap this up real quick. Again, this is not going to be a long live. I wanted to just jump on. It's been a while, and I've missed, I don't know if you missed me, but I've missed you. So I wanted to just jump on real quick. But you have room to negotiate. So if you're cost conscious, which everybody is nowadays, or you should be at least, it doesn't hurt to, with the resale home, put out an offer and ask for things that you would not have thought typical 2, 3 months ago. Not only, so back to the offer that got accepted recently from my client, not only are we getting sellers to pay the closing costs, after the inspection report came back, we went and reduced the price as well. Now, granted, it was overpriced to begin with. So we had some wiggle room with our offer. We got them to pay closing costs, and we went back and got additional monies from them. So that is a huge benefit right now with resale homes. And resale homes, if you like, another advantage for resale homes, if you like the traditional layout with formal living room, formal dining room, you can get that in a resale home. And property values are pretty much consistent. Excuse me. They're not, with new construction, you really don't quite know what the tax basis is just yet, because in 6 months, things could change drastically with that new home in that community. I've seen prices in certain new home communities go up anywhere from $75,000 to $100,000 in a 6 month time frame. So if you're waiting for your property to be built and you're looking at taxes, factoring in, remember your mortgage payment is principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. So that tax component, so something to be cautious of and aware of when you're going to buy new construction homes. Hey, what's going on, Christina? Hey, what's going on? For those of you who don't know Christina Smallhorn, she is, well, I consider her a mentor. I don't know if she would consider me a mentee, but I consider her a mentor. Please go check out her channel. She is absolutely amazing. And she is all about just educating and helping others as well. So those are the advantages of resale homes. So when we're talking about this market we're in, with interest rates rising and rising very, very fast, they rose just about 2% in the past 4 months. We started the year right around 3%, and right now we're at 5%. Somebody asked, what is the mortgage rate right now? What am I seeing? Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can pull this up. Here we go. So right now, according to Mortgage News Daily, the 30-year fixed rate is 5.25. That's up almost 0.2 basis points. So interest rates have risen drastically in the past 4 months. Now, with that said, you have to take everything with a grain of salt and put it in perspective. 5.25 historically is still an amazing interest rate. Now, is it as amazing as it was last year? Or last year this time? Absolutely not. We were in February of last year, we were in the twos. In August of last year, we were in the twos as well, 2.7, 2.8. Are we there? Absolutely not. Those of you who waited and did not buy, those were prime times to buy. Even right now, this is still an excellent interest rate, but it is only going up. That's the trend. Interest rates are going up. So when you're thinking about factoring in what you can get approved for, how so I'm laughing at Christina. Thank you very much, Christina, for the super chat. I appreciate it. What camera am I using? I am using a Sony ZV-E10. I think that's what it's called. Sony ZV-E10. It's actually sold out right now, but be on the lookout. B&H, be on the lookout. Put an alert on B&H Photo to check one out. But if you're in the market to buy right now and you're looking and you're getting quotes from lenders and everything like that, pre-approvals, if your pre-approval has not been reassessed in the past, I would say 30 days, I would say throw that pre-approval out. It's time for you to go talk to your mortgage broker again and get pre-approved and see exactly what you can afford. Because what you could afford when the rate was 4.7, 4.6 is not what you can afford when it's 5.25. So please be aware. I don't want you to get under contract for a property, especially new construction. This is the main reason why I wanted to jump on. Actually, one of my lender partners reached out to me today and was wondering, why is everybody so keen on new construction? And they don't realize with this rising rate environment, they may be priced out by the time the home is completed, or by the time they have to lock in their loan, they may not be able to afford it. And then they just lost their earnest money deposit. And I don't want that to happen to anybody. So I don't want anybody to lose their hard-earned money. You worked too hard for it. So do your homework up front. And if it's better for you to buy a resale home, which you can do so, go under contract in the next week or so and move in the next month or 45 days, I say do so, because that will be able to lock in, you know what your rate will be, you know what you're going to be paying. Whereas in 6 months, 9 months, we don't know what this market is going to, where it's going to be at. The Fed has already said for the next meeting, they're going to raise the federal funds rate by 50 basis points. Now, that does not mean intrinsically that mortgage rates will rise by 50 basis points, but it does mean historically that it will continue to go up. And they're thinking about doing it for the next 2 meetings. So by June, we could see another whole point increase. So if you thought your budget was tight at 4.7, well, think about what could it be at 6.25. Please consider it. Check out, talk to your mortgage lender to see where you stand. And it might be better and more prudent for you to buy a resale home, because there are advantages with resale homes. Again, I listed those. And personally, my own strategy when I'm buying homes is I don't like to buy brand new. Why? Because those prices, they go up very fast. I was going to say inflated, but the market is what the market is. But what I like to buy is homes that are less than 10 years old, to where I can still take advantage of the builder's warranties. Now, I might not be able to take advantage of the 1 or 2 year warranty, but I can still take advantage of the foundation structural warranty, that 10-year warranty, and knowing that all the things in the home aren't extremely dated. They might not have all the new things, the gadgets and toys that I like, but it's within reason, within the last 10 years. So please check that out. I'm over here looking at your comments. So to wrap it up, as far as new home or resale home, just look at your position. And if you have wiggle room in your budget and want that new home, then please do so. But don't, if your budget is 500 and you went under contract at 500,000, you went under contract for a home at 495, and at the time the rate was 4.5, I don't think that's wise, knowing if your construction period is like 6-7 months out. I want you just to be aware and cognizant of where you stand, because I don't want you to lose that money. And I was talking to some people, the best option may be, if you want new construction, and this is where it gets pretty competitive, is buy a home, an inventory home that's about to hit the market within 30 days. It's already completed, it's brand new. You had no say in anything regarding the home, but it's brand new and you can move into it in 30 days. There's a certain couple builders in my area that offers that. So I would believe there's builders in your area, wherever you are, that offers that as well. But with that said, those come with bidding wars typically. It's more like an offer system. It's not just, hey, pay this price and you get it. No, it may stay, hey, we're coming to the market at 425. What is your highest and best? But that way you can still know where your interest rate is, what your mortgage payment is going to be, and lock it in. What's up, Rick? I see your comments. You're saying buy new. That's bad advice. Let me see where you at. Here we go. I believe everybody's in their own boat. What I say, you have to take with a grain of salt for your position. Yes, new homes are beautiful and well, and like they're new. But when you buy new, it's also a waiting game. With resale, everybody's scared of bidding wars and getting priced out. Well, with new construction, you should also be afraid of not just bidding wars, but being priced, even if when you're under contract, being priced out for that home you're under contract for because the interest rate in this environment is going haywire. Now, do I think the market will crash or prices will fall? No, I don't see that happening, not this year and not beginning of 2023. But you could still end up getting what you're trying to avoid if you wait. Look at a couple comments here. That one. Real quick, this is one particular to the area I am in. How and where to find land to put a modular house in Fort Mill or TK. Please reach out to my team and I. We would love to help you. We can help find some land. Land right now is hard to find. Most definitely. And you want land that's not necessarily in a subdivision to where you can put a modular home. And TK and Fort Mill, one, South Carolina, you do have a lot of land with trailers or modular homes, but just reach out to us. It's more difficult, and the main thing you're going to pay for the lot itself is quite pricey right now, but we can see what we can do. The number my contact information will be in the description below, so please reach out to us. We can help you. I can put you in contact with one of my team members. Here we go. Will builders give back earnest money if you can no longer afford the home? No. The short answer is no. Majority of them will not. Now, it does depend on certain circumstances. I have had clients that have had their earnest money refunded back to them. Now, it wasn't because they could no longer afford the home. Sometimes, actually, I'll give you two scenarios that happened recently in the past year. One, they had a death in the family and decided they were not going to move to this area anymore. And the builder did not have to give them back their earnest money deposit, but they decided to. That was just the right thing for them to do. And it also matters. I was talking to the rep. It also matters that you are represented. A lot of times, if you're represented by a real estate agent when you're going to talk to these builders, they're more apt to give you that refund because they want to continue doing business with that real estate agent. Now, if you're just a one-off person and you're not represented, they're like, I'm not gonna say they won't give it to you, but they don't really have incentive to give you back your money because I mean, you're just it's a one-off transaction. Whereas with the real estate agent, they know that that's a revolving cycle. The real estate industry, at least for active, productive agents, is not really that big. Yes, there was over 100,000 real estate agents that became real estate agents in the past 2 years, but as far as active producing volume, it's not that many, and they don't want to burn those bridges, so they were more prone or more apt to give you that due diligence or earnest money deposit back. So, told you about one with a death in the family. Another person, actually, another client of mine, just changed their mind. They decided, you know what, I don't want this property, and I know they're regretting it now, but they backed out, didn't want the property, and I told the builder, hey, we decided to go another route, wanted to back out, and they were gracious enough to give my client back their money. Now, I'm not saying it was because of me or whatever, but their management just gave them back their money. So we were very thankful and very fortunate, but they did not have to. And I've heard horror stories where builders did not give buyers their money back. Actually, I have a client, actually not a client. He reached out to me after being under contract. He was building in South Carolina, and he came in, saw my videos, reached out, but didn't want representation. Ended up going under contract, home being built for over a year. The builder took forever and delayed and whatever. It was a horror story. And when it came down to it, they were trying to sell him a home that he didn't necessarily not didn't want, but it wasn't what he planned to build. And they kept his money. He's like, they everybody walked away. They kept their money, and they are actually in legal disputes right now. So they don't have to necessarily give you your money. This is Kira Ashley. Yes, depends on the builder and the different stages of the process. You can get your money back. That definitely matters. Typically, builders know that if the home is not completed, they can just put it back on the market and resell it at a higher purchase price. So they're not really out anything. Um, so th- so it gives good karma for them to give you your money back because they're not really out anything, but they don't necessarily have to. This is Rick again, talking about rate locks and all that. I appreciate your comments. And yes, and you can lock your rate for up to, I have some lender friends and lender partners that can lock rates up to almost a year. You can do that. That is well within your right to do so. It's going to cost you a pretty penny. And I'm not sure once you factor in everything, if that would be a prudent move to do. You just have to look at your own situation. Again, it's not a one size fits all scenario. You have to look at your own particular situation and look at the numbers to make sure they fit where you are and your family's needs. All right, Crystal, it's Cabarrus County. This one is particular to the greater Charlotte region. For those of you who are wondering what they're talking about, Cabarrus County is a growing area where new homes are being built without HOAs. This question, then question about Huntersville. It is fine. Yep. Okay. It is hard to find no HOA neighborhoods or lots in Huntersville. Yes, that is you're making statements that I agree with. I know you're putting a question mark after them. Uh, one, typically, if you find a builder building in Cabarrus County or Mecklenburg County or pretty much anywhere in the United States right now, I just left Maryland, and same is true there. You're going to be in a community with an HOA. A lot of people don't like HOAs, but I'm gonna do a video where HOAs can be your friend. Can can be your friend, not necessarily always your friend. But it's hard. You're not gonna find new construction or it's going to be very difficult to find new construction without HOAs. I have there's a community with $700,000 plus homes, 700 to almost 2 million, 700,000 to $2 million homes, about 45 minutes south of Charlotte in South Carolina. The smallest lot is 0.75 acres, and they go up to about 2.5 acres. And even in that community, where you have these large lots and everybody like their privacy and everything, there's still an HOA. So you're not going to get away from an HOA typically when you're buying new construction. And I get why people don't like HOAs. I get it. I had last community I was in, my HOA was bugging me about seeing my trash cans. I put a fence around it. I put a gate around it. I kept getting letters and warnings about it. It was annoying. But I would much rather have that than to see my neighbor um, having an auto garage mechanic, being a mechanic next door in their driveway. So there's pros and cons with HOAs. And I guess I can touch on it right now a little bit. HOAs right now, at least in my area, I'm in the greater Charlotte area, a lot of them are putting caps on how many investors can buy in the community. Now, a lot of people are complaining about investors buying homes and not leaving homes for owner occupants and first time home buyers. Well, HOAs hear that and they're putting caps on the amount of investors that can buy in a community. So while you don't want to, while I can see why people don't want HOAs, HOAs do have its benefits. Real quick, last question is, will I do any investment videos in the future? Rentals, flips, Airbnbs, any contracts in that area you recommend? Contacts in that area you recommend? Yes, I plan on doing more videos in that space as far as investing concerned. That's actually my first passion, my first, not first true love. First true love was basketball. But as far as real estate, it was investing. It was flips. It was rentals. I did community housing where you rent out rooms, Airbnb. I love all of that. And I will talk more about it. It's just in this environment, it hasn't been, well, you can still find deals. I'm not saying there's no deals, but in this environment, that wasn't the primary focus, and not a lot of people could take advantage of those kind of situations. But I foresee in the future more opportunities open up when you have, again, like my client, they got seller concessions. You're getting sellers that are more flexible, and you're able to carve out profit margins for you, the buyer or homeowner or future homeowner. So I'll be doing more videos. I'll be doing videos on rentals, flips, Airbnb, communal living is what we call it, where you rent out each room. Um, I'll be doing that. Am I? She posted a question twice. Is this the question you're talking about? I know I said that was the last one, but you kind of yelled at me. I don't quite get the question. Sir Ashley, own land using equity in land, also using earnest money in that example. Would that be available for a refund? No HOA. Hold on. I'm trying to go scroll up to see if this is what you're talking about. If you can provide some clarity, I would definitely appreciate that. Am I? These are clients of mine. We are under contract building new construction right now, and home is actually making some great progress. So, Ray Davis, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for watching. You're already under contract, and your home is absolutely going to be beautiful. And we'll be talking about locking in your rate soon. Let me see if she has not. Of seeing if she clarified her question. Well, that does it for me tonight. I'll be putting out more frequent videos. As you see, new setup, new surroundings. I had to change a few things around. And so I appreciate you rocking with me on a Monday evening. And I hope this was beneficial and edified you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll get to them at a later date. And please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it. I appreciate you. I'm Sir Ashley. I'll talk to you later.